As Seattle gets ready to welcome the 2018 Special Olympics USA Games, we all have an important role to play in creating a region of inclusion that welcomes everyone. The Games could be a galvanizing force for greater awareness and appreciation of what people with intellectual disabilities can contribute.
We recently caught up with Tim Shriver, chairman of Special Olympics, to learn more about the history behind the Games, including how his mother, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, turned her vision into the world's foremost movement, empowering people with disabilities to show up and be seen. Your family's deeply involved in the Special Olympics. Can you tell us how it got started?
The Special Olympics movement was started in Chicago. 1968 was the first Games with 1,000 people with intellectual challenges on the field, claiming to be Olympic, to be the best of humanity. Exactly the opposite of what the world had seen. That moment in time had its roots in the history of my mother's family. One of her sister, Rosemary, her older sister, was born with an intellectual disability. They grew up, my mom did especially, with a love of her sister, an understanding of the need to in some ways be protective, but also with a kind of a fierce determination to change the culture that was around them, which did not include their sister. There were no schools, there were no healthcare institutions, there were no rehabilitation programs, there were no employment supports, there was nothing. My mom's genius was to think we could use sports, we could do what is so intuitive and natural to all of us, which is to play together, and by doing so we might actually shift the culture to emphasize inclusion for everybody, the dignity of each human being.
Today, all of you young athletes are in the arena. Many of you will win, but even more important, I know you will be brave and bring credit to your parents and to your country. Let us begin the Olympics. Thank you.
So one of the mottos is, it's so much more than sports. Can you talk about that and what the Games mean to you?
We don't just do sports, but we do inclusive early childhood, inclusive schools, inclusive health programs. We're the largest public health program in the world for people with intellectual disabilities. We teach what we call inclusive leadership. What would it look like to become a leader if you knew and understood the experiences of those on the margins, which is the gift our Special Olympics athletes bring to their peers and to the culture? I'd like us to think that every school in America would have a Special Olympics unified sports team. Let's celebrate the fact that sports can be a platform where everybody can claim their value. Not their label of whatever separates us, but their value as a contributing member of society.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the Games grew and evolved over the course of 50 years?
It's an amazing story, Brad. It's a story really mostly of volunteerism. When we think of having 5 or 6 million athletes involved in the movement every year, 99% of our workforce is volunteers. It's civic organizations, faith-based institutions, corporate partners who give their people the chance, really the privilege of volunteering. That's the story of our movement. First one country, then 10, then 20, then 30. Today, 172 countries have independent Special Olympics organizations, 110,000 games a year in little villages and the developing world and big cities like Seattle. These games are all invitations for us to come together, to see in someone else goodness, possibility, when maybe in the past you'd seen something different. That's no longer a person with a disability, it's a point guard. And all of a sudden our hearts open to some basic human value, I think, that's quite powerful.
As the premier partner for these USA Games, Microsoft is proud to join with Special Olympics in bringing our region together to create more inclusive communities where everyone is welcome. Find out how you can get involved by going to SpecialOlympicsUSAGames.org.